Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. My name is Ross Benjamin of RBWins.com. As always, on Tuesdays, I'm joined by Mr. Chip Chirimbus of the 8play.com. Today, we're going to be talking about college basketball. Normally, Tuesdays, we're talking about the NBA with Chip, but we're in the month of March, folks.
Yep.
Right now, our focus is on college basketball. Chipper.
Yes,
How
sir.
are you, my friend?
I'm doing wonderful. If I can stay away from those overtime games, it's been happening there. But
Yeah.
I lost the mega buck on Saturday by half a point by getting 6.5 Texas against Kansas.
That hurts.
Lose by 7 in overtime, but that drops my record. Ross, I came back with a win with Michigan on Sunday, so I'm now 29-10 with my top college basketball plays in the last 39 releases. So I'm looking to have one on Wednesday that everyone could take advantage of, because we're certainly going to have enough to play with.
Yeah, I lost a tough one in overtime too. On Friday night, I had a total under 138 or 151 and a half. It was 138 at the end of regulation time. And of course, they scored 22 points in overtime.
Yeah.
Earlier they hurt, man.
It's just this happens continuously in our industry, in our business.
Yeah.
Earlier in the week, I had Syracuse as the best bet against North Carolina.
Yep.
Goes overtime, getting 8.5. They lose by 9.
Lose by 9. Yeah.
It's a tough situation. It sort of breaks your heart, but you can't get discouraged because
you win some
times.
Yeah. You win some like that too, even though you don't remember.
You said that last week, and I told you I don't win those games.
Doug Upstone from Doc Sports. I also do videos with him on his channel, and he reminds me of you. He's actually got it documented. He says, I have to win the next 90 games in a row in overtime since 2004 to break even. He keeps records.
I think he's right, and I think I feel the same way.
Yeah, I says, between you and Chip, I can't convince you these games even out when that happens. But
Russ, you feel like how many times do you have to win the same game?
Yeah, absolutely.
3 times in the Xavier game, we went double overtime. I mean, hey, it's I guess it's what makes the sport so interesting and fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely. And had a nice day on Sunday, winning with Michigan and Iowa. I had Michigan like you as well. Fell short on a total that I had over 145, and it fell on 142. But I'll take it. And I treading water the last couple of weeks in college basketball. Still 33-23 with my last 56 overall in college basketball, which is good for 59%, which is pretty darn good by my calculations. And 71-53 overall, all sports, all picks since January 28th, which if you're a dime player, you're up 13 grand. If you're a nickel player, you're up 6,500. So there you go. But exciting time of year, Chip. Conference tournament action. I passed yesterday, and I was tempted to do the same thing today, but I found a couple games to use that I thought had some value. But these early round college basketball tournaments in the major conferences, I should say, you're getting a lot of the lower seeds playing each other in the first days, and it's a tough call. Like Pitt played Boston College today. Yeah, Boston College wins by 22.
And we've got things like the Horizon League and the other leagues where their bottom rung teams just don't measure up. I passed as well on Monday. Lucky enough to have an NBA winner. I had guess who was Popovich winning his 1,334th game, tying Don Nelson. So finally, he broke through after 4 straight losses against the Lakers.
There you go, the Lakers. What a sad story that team is, Chip.
LeBron got what he wanted. He wanted Carmelo Anthony. He got him. He wanted, this Brickwood. I mean Westwood. He's terrible.
Westbrook.
He's just.
I know it's brick.
He's West Brick.
Yeah. He's now. He was saying to the media today that his family has been getting threatened lately. It's not funny, but I know. Yeah, so goes. Playing in markets like New York and LA when you're getting a lot of dough. But I'm going to start calling them guys the over the hill game because Anthony Davis, he can't stay healthy. They're a mess. I mean, they may end up making a late run to make the playoffs, but they're going to be no factor even if they do.
I agree.
I'd rather see an upstart from the Western Conference get in there. and get some playoff experience rather than us being force-fed the LA Lakers on national TV like we've been so much this year.
Really.
So, Chipper, you have a free pick for us on Wednesday, March the 9th. Take it away, my friend.
Well, for what it's worth in the Big 12, West Virginia's had a horrible year. We've talked about it, about how bad they've been, and yet they're one win away from qualifying for the NIT. K-State hasn't been all that much better. This game's on a neutral site, and the Wildcats are a 1-point favorite as of now. They need 2 wins to qualify for the NIT. So it's going to be interesting here because one of them's definitely out. No chance of postseason play after this. K-State comes in having lost 5 in a row, Ross, though they covered 2 of those games. West Virginia just comes off beating TCU, who isn't all that bad a club, but they had lost 7 straight prior to that game. So I don't know if they've been rejuvenated. I'm very surprised Higgins' team hasn't doing better. And the thing is, the Mountaineers are 4-1 in their last 5 as underdogs. And if you look comparatively how Kansas State is as favorites, Ross, they've covered 8 of their last 32 games against the number as
8-24 against.
Well, actually, they're 8-23-3. But they've only covered 8 times.
Yes,
only covered 8 times in 32 games as favorites. So the other side being 4-1 as underdogs. I'm just going to stick with the trends here, and I don't think it's going to be a big blast either way. That's the way for me to go. I think that maybe the Mountaineers will get it together.
So you like West Virginia?
Yes.
West Virginia plus the 1 over Kansas State.
Right. They're 4-1 their last 5 as dogs, and Kansas' record as a favorite. We just said they've only covered 8 out of the last 32.
34, actually, the record you gave. So
no, it's 8-21-3. What does that come to?
8-21-3. I thought you said 8-23-3. My fault. Yes, 8 of their last 32, 25% of the time. Not very good. No. And this is the weakest Kansas State team I could remember in a long time, and quite frankly, the weakest West Virginia team. I'm surprised we haven't seen Bob Huggins throw a chair or 2 this year.
I like him. He's hard nosed. We know that. And
just one of those years. It's the recruiting cycle wasn't good to him during this period, so we'll see. Yep. I mean, he'll have an opportunity to bring some players aboard that can be an immediate help. And sometimes you can get a lot of 4- and 5-star players on a major program when they know they could step right in and get immediate playing time.
And nowadays with the transfer portal and what's going on there, you just really need a quarterback in today's game, and these quarterbacks now, Ross, with the amount of money they're getting, they're going to be playing with 4 different schools in 4 different years. We saw a guy starter in Texas leave to go to USC. If you're a starter at Texas, why would you go to USC? I remember when there was a time when in order to play college football, in order to be recruited, you had to qualify with your grades. You had to qualify by getting into school. That doesn't exist anymore.
I was watching the chart, and not to get off subject a little bit, but I was watching the Charleston and
that 3-point shot yesterday.
No, it was a different game. I was watching Charleston and North Carolina Wilmington last night on ESPN2, and the kid from Charleston started at Charleston, left Charleston for 2 years, and then came back for a senior year. Come on, now it's getting ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
I made a mistake. Let me come back. Okay, come on back. Anyway, big trade in the NFL today, by the way, folks. Russell Wilson going to the Denver Broncos. In my estimation, I think Chip agrees with me. Who cares? Now everybody's saying the AFC West is going to be so dominant. We'll see. Anyway, I still think Kansas City will own the division, quite frankly. And I think Russell Wilson right now would be, in my estimation, the 3rd best quarterback in that division at this stage of his career.
I'm not sure about that. I just think he's on the downside of what's been a great career so far.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the Broncos really gave up an awful lot. I really do. If they don't win in the next year, or they don't reach the Super Bowl in the next 2 years, I think they're really going to be paying the price down the line.
Well, we were talking off air, 2 number 1s, 2 number 2s, and a number 5, plus Drew Lock and another player that name escapes me. But anyway, it's a lot to give up for a quarterback in his early what is he, 33, 34 now?
I'm not quite sure, but I know he's had experience.
Well, hey, look at compared to what Denver's had under center over the last 5 or 6 years, he's a definite upgrade. There's no two ways
Absolutely.
about that. But in any event, we're talking college basketball. And by the way, folks, if you've been following our YouTube channel and these videos, last week we went 7-1. And over the last 14 videos, we've gone 22-6. Chip's raising his hand because he had the only loser. But if we've gone 22-6 with our last 14 videos, he hasn't been losing a lot. Let's put it that way. So anyway, let's see if we can keep the momentum going, Chip. And if you hadn't subscribed to our YouTube channel, folks, quite simple. Just hit that subscribe button. It costs you absolutely nothing. There's no length of subscription. There's no payment plan. You could unsubscribe. I don't know why I'd want to do that anytime you like. And when you do subscribe, hit that notification bell and you'll be alerted immediately upon any of our sports betting videos being published on this channel. It's going to be a big March. We're going to be talking a lot of college basketball. So subscribe, folks. And as you can see, we're winning like banshees. Anyway, Nebraska and Northwestern. Boy, oh boy, hold your nose for this game. But you know what? Let me get to this later. Northwestern, they're coming off a 75-62 home win over Minnesota, but they're still just 2-5 in their last 7 games. But this is a Northwestern team that's really struggled on the offensive side of the ball, on the offensive end of the floor, shooting 41% in their last 3. See, we're talking football, see what happens. Yep. 41% or less in their last 3 and 41% or less in their last 7 of 8. So not very good offense from the Wildcats. On the other hand, Nebraska, who was just absolutely horrible most of the season, all of a sudden down the stretch, they're playing competitive basketball, Chip. They've covered their last 4. They won their last 3 straight up, all on the road, including wins at number 12, Wisconsin, at Ohio State, who was ranked at the time, and they beat the Buckeyes by 16. They won at Penn State, and then a game at Iowa they covered as well. So, and Iowa's number 24 in the country, I believe, as we speak. So they've been playing real good. And during that 4-game stretch, Nebraska's averaging 80.8 points per game and shooting 53.1% from the field against some pretty good competition. And I just mentioned Northwestern struggles offensively. So they're going to have to score to beat this team because they're not going to hold them in check defensively. Northwestern did win both regular season matchups, but that was well before, I think at this point of the season, Northwestern is not as good as they were during the midpoint of the season where they started to come on a little. And Nebraska is definitely vastly improved, especially down the stretch. And Nebraska, by the way, this year, 9-2 against the spread against teams that they've lost to in each of their last 2 meetings. So a lot supports Nebraska in this contest. And I'm going to support Nebraska in this contest. They're a 5-point underdog right now. I'm going to take the Nebraska Cornhuskers plus the 5 over the Northwestern Wildcats. And Chip Chirimbus, he likes West Virginia in the Big 12 tournament plus 1 over Kansas State. Don't forget, folks, we take 24 hours in advance. So these lines are subject to change depending on when you view the video, but we do grade our selections on the line we give you at the time of taping. So sometimes that works for us and other times against us. It all evens out, even though Chip will tell you that bad losses in overtime games do not even out. As a matter of fact, Doug Upstone will tell you the same thing. I beg to differ, but you know what? It's 6 of one and a half dozen of the other. Here we go. So Chip Chirimbus, my friend, tell the folks how you've been killing it with your college basketball mega bucks plays.
Yeah, we've really had a great 7-week run right now, 29-10, the last 39 selections. We stubbed our toe with that overtime loss on Saturday, but bounced back on Sunday with a big winner. And 29-10 is pretty good with your top play.
Yeah.
9-3 in the NBA with our top play. So right now we're running on all cylinders. And you can get my top play, my A play selection at Chip Wins. go to chipwins.com, log on, follow the buy links, or you can text me or call me because the number's there and I'm available to you. And like Ross said, we don't have a staff of people out there. We will answer the phone directly and talk to you directly if you're interested. So chipwins.com, and good luck this weekend.
Yeah, it's we don't employ salespeople.
Right.
And when you call me and Chip, we're not salesmen. Okay. So it's a pretty black and white conversation. You tell us what you want. If you can't buy it online, we'll attempt. Again, no promises, but we'll attempt to tailor a package to your needs. Don't offer us some ridiculous price. The only thing we give out free is our phone number these days. So don't call and say, if you give me a winner, I'll consider doing business with you. That's not the way it works. We've been doing this way too long. That's for guys who don't have a brand. We've been doing it a combined 60 years in this industry. So the longevity speaks volumes. In any event, don't forget to subscribe. You could find me at rbwins.com. College basketball, like I touched upon, 33-23 with my last 56. Good for 59%. College basketball, 10-star top plays, folks. Large sample size going back to February 27th of 2018, which is over 4 years now. I've gone 95-69 with those college basketball 10-star top plays, equivalent to Chip's Megabuck plays. And we just term them differently. That's the only difference. That's 58% for 4 years. So again, dime players during that period of time have scooped up quite a bit of money, somewhere in the area of $29,000. So you want to keep an eye on those. My NBA 17-11 with my last 28, good for 61%. NBA totals very good right now. 11-4 the last 15, 21-12 the last 33. Chipper, any final words before we sign off?
No, it's just our time of the year. Big games, big action, big money, and big winners.
Don't forget chipwins.com, rbwins.com. Go to both websites for our paid selections. These free picks, yes, they're winning, but just imagine how well you'll do on the premium paid selection side too, as well. And we offer daily, weekly, monthly, and annual packages. And like I said, both of our phone numbers pasted right on that homepage. You can give us a call anytime if you don't see something that's worth your while and you want to tailor something to your needs. Until the next time, for Chip Chirimbus, who's in not Las Vegas, not Florida, but he's in New Orleans today.
In New Orleans.
I'm going to start calling him Vagabond Sports. Anyway, until the next time, folks, for Chip and Ross, we like to wish each and every one of you all the very best. Good luck and God bless.
I guess we could call it